Apapa and Tinkan Island ports. These ports account for over 60% of the cargo into the country and an estimated 70% of customs revenue. This situation demands a more urgent attention than it is currently getting from the federal government. But there is need for urgent palliative measures to sustain movement of traffic in this axis.
The association applauds His Excellency's approval of harmonized inspection of workplaces sometimes last year. However, the harmonized inspection is not fully complied with, as some MDAs are not included in the harmonized inspection scheme. Also, it is still being witnessed till date of the overlapping functions of some government regulatory agencies with similar oversized statutory functions on industrial concerns in the state. The agencies that come to mind at this junction are the Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission, Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, Lagos State Wastewater Management Office, and the Lagos State Water Corporation.
Without any vestige of doubt, it is evident that MSMEs are the bedrock of any economy, and their importance should not be ignored. We therefore appeal to you, Your Excellency, to help the growth of MSMEs in Lagos further by looking into the followings. 1. Industrial development centers. Our members who are into production, manufacturing, and food processing need an industrial development centers. This will facilitate provision of adequate skill acquisition, well-equipped infrastructural facilities, quality assessments, collective financial accessibility, and marketing of their products.
Governor Akinwumi Ambode responds to these concerns, beginning with access road to the ports.
Right now, what we've done is to make sure that all the security agencies at least manage the traffic while we try to see how fast that the road can be repaired, and then the other fundamental issues. The Vice President is looking at it, and we can see how that works. So, International Trade Fair Complex, you know my answer to it. Like I said, one thing is to say something, the other one is to be able to do. Yes, federal government says it's been withdrawn. That's the concession, right? So the process to now give it out, is it in place? Has the process started? So it's not. So that could take some other administrative process that does not really allow that thing to go. But you know, the way we think here is to say that I would rather look for an investor that I give a space in, maybe for example, Kuramo Falls there. Maybe for example, a large space in Lekki, depending on what the person wants. So I give you deferred payment for the land. Build me a convention center or an exhibition center with large hotel. So why do we have to be going to Abuja to do convention or to do exhibition? Do you know that kind of thinking? So I can give you the land for free. When you build, you pay me in 10 years. That's annuity for Lagos State. But I have what I want. So if you're thinking about the trade fair complex, so that's the Nigerian thinking. It's not pragmatic enough. Harmonization of inspection of workplaces. That's my promise. The other government agencies that are not there, we'll put all of them together from January. So nobody goes there alone.
The governor also responds to complaints on the return of potholes to roads across the state and the embedded power project.
Lagos, almost 2 meters or 3 meters below sea level. So no matter how much you do for road construction, the topography itself does not allow that road not to have all those potholes you are complaining about. It's geography. It's not whether somebody is trying to cheat you or anything. You are below the water level. So the water will always be on the road. So when the season comes, it will show pothole. If we're on top of a hill, it won't happen. So topography makes you to spend more money in sustaining the road naturally. We are strongly committed to that power freedom. We are in the process. The bill is already in the House of Assembly. We are also trying to work out with all the stakeholders, and I'm sure my people, they also understand this, that once we're able to sign on the guarantee, that creates the platform for people to now invest. At least they are sure. And then before we do it, we'll also sensitize, do some sense of advocacy to make sure that, Lagosians really sign on. It's better to have something that is very consistent, very comfortable, at a price that is okay, than just, be carrying diesel around the whole place.
A resounding applause for His Excellency for a wonderful job. Well, thank you, Mr. Governor.
While government continues to design projects that will benefit the people, it also needs assistance to finance them. This the corporate body is willing to do.
We have a captive market of 22 million people. Next thing we want to talk about is capital. You have a lot of projects here in Lagos, but unfortunately, for most of the financiers, and including Rand Merchant Bank themselves, the ability to get information is the problem. It's clear that Lagos State on itself cannot finance all these projects by itself. So what we're looking to see, Excellency, is if you can take a look at putting together a review of all your projects, either in utilities, housing, agriculture, transportation, and identify several bankable projects, maybe again through Lagos Global, to be able to put out information that these are the projects you have reviewed them and convinced them that are bankable, and so that people with private capital can come in and take on these projects and begin to work on them. That is really what we would like to see in terms of transparency and accountability.
The state government expresses readiness to partner with any investor willing to key into his administration's massive infrastructural renewal drive in critical sectors. From here, both parties will return to act on issues raised and come up with pragmatic policies and programs that will make Lagos much more livable and friendly for business.